Perfect.
Yeah, it is perfect.
I'm the right amount of high when you
Yeah, we got.
when you go to put the bowl in the wrong hole.
Yeah.
You're there.
We put anything in the wrong hole, things are gonna get bad. All right, guys, you better make sure you're putting things in the right holes. All right. We got
True.
fancy ass peas getting finessed out here.
Leave my peas alone.
Yeah, well, they are. Actually, can I have a pea?
Sure.
Pass me a pea. Guys, these are scrumptious.
Pass me a pea. They are honestly
3
very
left.
good.
That's 1 for each of you.
Wow.
Can we do a live commentary on the chew?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, like a live ASMR,
Yeah.
all 3 of us?
Yeah.
Whose chewing sounds are the best?
All right, right. I'm gonna go real quick.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good bite. That's a good
one.
one. That was a good one.
I like to open the pea though, and then you can kind of.
Oh, you like to
yeah.
spread? Okay, opens
Wait.
up the pea.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody listen to Allie pluck the pea out of the pod.
You can hear it.
You really good though. Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was great.
How's it feel? Does this rip every little child you grew apart?
I know, that's true, honestly.
That's the rewarding part.
No, to slaughter your own green children?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. They are delicious though.
Don't mind the way I'm.
They're like extremely sweet.
Yeah. Well,
Very good.
picked at the height of freshness.
Oh
Yeah,
damn.
Ellie's been watching them. She's been monitoring.
I can picture you too with a bunch of
She goes
GoPros.
out there every morning and she's like,
I am on top of it.
not yet.
I'm on top of it because I got a pond out there too, and I like to go out there and check on all my fish. So I do that, and then I make my rounds and walk around the garden and check everything. And make sure
Damn! Well, you have a little ecosystem that you have like a little.
Yeah. So
what kind of fish do you have in there? Actually, I'm interested.
goldfish and 1 koi.
Oh, that's so
it's,
sick.
Yeah, it's a 300-gallon stock tank, and I just have it with plants around it, some stuff in it, and then it's my 1 koi who's maybe 8 inches.
Wait, we just got him recently, or?
Yeah, so I set the pond up beginning of this spring actually. I had one initially in my neighbor's yard, but they made me tear it out.
Wait, really? The motherfuckers are like, this is too peaceful in this bitch.
They
sold the house.
Yeah, they sold the house and
The
some new
newer
people.
owners.
And they moved in. And
Sons of
I
bitches.
got kicked out, but I love my goldfish. I'm getting them to eat out of my hand and stuff now. It's great.
Wait, can you teach them how to do backflips and shit? Is that
Maybe that's the next step.
Just get a fire ring.
We're working our way to that point.
Oh, that's gonna be the addition to the business. Just do aquatic
Yeah, I
gymnastics.
actually told Allie the other day that she should start her own business and then hire me.
No.
I was like, you can just we'll switch. We'll switch.
My fault. The dog. The dog. That's so funny. I got Remy and Josie over here just cheering me on. They're like, "You got this, buddy. You got this." But I was thank you guys for. I want to say thank you both for even taking the time to come on too. I know it's
Absolutely.
I've been trying to set this up for so long with Sarah, but it was so many times that I just fucked up on scheduling. I think there was one time I literally overslept. I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even message her shit. I'm
I know,
sorry.
it's hard because that happens to Julia when she comes home too. Is she's working, she wants to come home and work, but she also wants to have time to spend with her family. So I feel like it just gets so chaotic. And then she's like, I'm doing a million things and I ran out of time to do the something or whatever. It almost never seems like it's the right amount of time for her to be here.
Oh my god, especially when you come back when you have a big family too, right? It's trying to
she
juggle
was home
everything.
for a week recently and still was
do you mind actually grabbing the mic and just bring it a little closer?
sorry.
Nah, you're good. Maybe hold it like a wine glass or something, pretend hello there, something there.
She was home for a week recently, and even that, she was like, I don't feel like I was here long enough. I still, to have other things that I wish I had done, had time to do, and she was ready to, extend her trip, but she couldn't. She had already checked into her. She was like, I should look and see if there's, if I can stay, another day or a couple days left. And we're like, well, look, just see if you can switch your flight. And she was like, oh, I already checked in. I'm like,
you're like, wait, what?
Why did you even say it then? If you can't do it, you already checked in.
It's
She's
just the
such a
ADHD.
silly goose sometimes.
Yeah, I love her though. That's her creative mind though. She's just all over the place. I gotta just
exactly.
just fucking wing it. And actually, when it came to your business, it's an art in itself. What got you interested in wanting to do this? What was the first steps? What were the thoughts you even had before even thinking about being a pet tailor and the whole nine?
I've always wanted to do something with dogs. I've always really liked dogs and wanted to work with them. And originally, everyone who's interested in doing things with dogs, I think their first thought is to be a vet.
Yeah.
and I when I was looking to go to high schools, I was looking at I looked into Bristol Aggie for that reason. Like, I wanted to do something with animal science, and then I realized that I couldn't go to school for that long. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it, and I didn't think that I would really enjoy working with animals, like, in that kind of environment.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, no, I can imagine too. It's a very heavy burden to put upon yourself.
Not to get like super heavy either, but I do know that
we're starting off heavy, y'all.
I do know that vets have like the highest suicide rate for like doctors in general, because their jobs are just that, like, I don't want to say awful, but
sad.
Like, it's just that sad, and like that trying on your heart, like that. It's just, it can get really heavy, and they make those decisions. But
as Josie agrees, she's like, it's hard.
Like, yeah, that's just crazy out here.
She wants
Josie,
you to
want to say something?
Yeah, she wants. Hi, Joe.
You heard the snips. Yeah, she's the first time on my podcast. Wait, where's the ball? Oh, it's on my butt. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Here you go, Josie. Guys, it's all fun and games here, though. And you know what I mean? It sucks, because like you said, it sucks because all they want is love, attention, and just like a good life. And it sucks that people would do such harm to such a being.
I mean, even grooming is like a lot of just doing things to dogs that they don't like. So it's not even like, I think a lot of I get that comment a lot of like, it must be so fun to go to work and just like play with dogs, and I'm like, that's not what I do, like, at all.
If anything, I'm wrestling them to fucking
literally though, like, yeah, exactly.
I love seeing your stories too, when y'all just like, it's like a huge dog just like covered in fur, like the before and afters. It's like no one knows the struggle in between when you do the before and afters, right?
Exactly. Everyone thinks that it's fun, and then I have a couple of clients who, like, their dogs are just so like hard to do by myself that they stay with me. And I have one guy who has a golden retriever, and he's just like the most difficult dog. Like, he climbs the walls in the van the whole time. Like, he's just like losing his mind. Like, and he stays with me to like help me hold him, because he is so strong. Like, I can't do it by myself. And one day I think it was last time, he goes, everyone should just have one day where they come and like stay with you, because this is crazy. Like, this is like so much harder than I think people realize. And I was like, absolutely. That is like my one thing of like trying to explain to people that I try to explain to people, is that like, it's not a fun job. Like, not that like I like it, I enjoy it, but it's not like a fun job. Like, I don't think people think like people think that I'm playing with dogs all day, and I'm not at all.
It's impossible to tell a dog that what you're doing is like just part of it.
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to help you. Like, you can't.
They just get
they're
nervous.
Not rational.
You can't do anything about it.
I feel like with a golden retriever, right? You said, or Labrador.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're so. I feel like they're so playful too. She's like, I'm not trying to stand still. Like, what do you mean? Like, I got time for this shit.
Poor guy. He's just like an anxious mess. They rescued him, and he just is like so nervous of like everything, but he just can't seem to and then like, that's the thing too, is like, you'd think that over time they'd figure it out. Like, we've done this 100 times now. Like, and nope, we're still right back at square one every time I show up. They just are like, no, I that box in the metal box is so scary. I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna do the same thing we did last time, and it's gonna be fine.
He's like, it's just a giant goddamn cage like I have at home. I'm not trying to get into that goddamn shit.
Right.
No, I was gonna say, would you say it's more physically exhausting than mentally, or is it kind of just like do you think because you're working with such, loving animals, of course, in the end, like the end of the day, you're like, you are making this animal a better, giving him a better, like, cost of not cost of living, my fault, but just a better living experience,
Right.
So like, how is it? Do you think it's a mental like tear as well over time, or is it more physical? Or explain it in more detail.
I would say that it's more mental for me.
Yeah, probably. Just because, I mean, at where we're at, we love all of our clients. Like,
Right, like, I
so
love
all
the
of them
people.
know us. The dogs are a lot calmer because of that, because they have experience with us. So they come in and they're like, I don't love this, but I know you, so I know I'm not gonna get
Right.
hurt
So, like,
or
right now I'm
anything.
not taking new clients. It's just people that I've already been grooming for a really long time. Like, my schedule is full, and I, like, love and appreciate the people that, like, choose me as their groomer. And I just know their dog. So that, I think, is the hardest part of, like, having new people come in and not knowing what to expect when you, like, get their dog from them. Like, but having to stay patient and correct the same behavior over and over and over again, that I think is the most challenging for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've seen, we've done this, like I said, we've done this 100 times, and, like, you still don't understand it. And, like, every dog does, like, the same thing. So it's like it's like,
They don't like their feet touched.
Yeah.
They don't like the dryer. They don't like whatever it is. They just have a lot of the same things. So I think it takes a lot of patience.
right, because you're like, I just
Yeah.
did this, like, an hour ago. I just, like, corrected this behavior over and over and over again at the last house, and now I'm here and you're doing the same thing. So it's just like it never changes. You're just constantly fighting the same battle, or like, and I'm like, oh my god, if we could just, like, pick a different thing to, like, be annoying about, at least then I would be, like, patient. Maybe.
Yeah, just like a little bit more. You're like, come on, just give me something different, all right? It's like, how many times have you go this dance routine?
Right, exactly. So it's like you're just correcting the same thing over and over again. But that's kind of something that I do appreciate about mobile, is that you have that downtime of driving to the next appointment and having, like, time to, like, headspace to just kind of chill. And, like, you're like, all right, it's a new job. It's a different dog. Like, you're getting to the next destination, and, like, it breaks up my day a little bit more than just, like, the mundane back to back to back to back that you would have at, like, a regular salon. Even when I had the salon space, I closed the salon space just mostly to, like, cut back on responsibility. Like, I have the house, so, like, that's another business in itself, because it's a rental property, and, like, people are upstairs and I'm a landlord. And then I was renting a space that, like, it was just two old women who owned it, so they were just kind of put a lot of their responsibility on me and be like, we'll just, like, give you your rent for free until, like, it's paid off, whatever, like, would break and I would have to fix, like, so it was like,
It's like, just put it under my name at that point. Give me the deed, goddamn,
right,
at that
exactly. Like, I'm doing everything for your property, but also having to go home and do all of those same things for my own house. And, like, then the van, like, has issues too. So I'm like, I'm keeping up with so much maintenance, and, like, at the end of the day, maintaining the salon is never going to benefit me because I don't own it. I was renting it. So it was just, like, it didn't feel, like, worth it to me anymore. And then Allie actually quit, so she doesn't care.
She's like, I'm done with this shit.
Oh my god, I'm getting called out.
I know, right? I'm like, damn, but she's right here with it. I'm like, damn, what happened there?
At that point, it was not practical to have two spaces. So, like, I'm the only groomer. I don't really need both things. So it was like, which one do I get rid of? And that was kind of my way of deciding. It was just that it was just too much work. I was putting in too much work for a property that was never going to benefit me.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm, like, laughing at, like, the dog fight that's going on in the background, guys. It's just an intense.
Yeah, they're, like, just sitting right at our feet wrestling. Like, they can't pick a different spot.
Mm-hmm. No, but it's you know, I mean, it's you realize the value of your time, though. Like, why you're gonna put it into a rental property, especially that, you know, do
Right.
they appreciate the work you're putting into it? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, yeah, they give it to you for free, but it's just like they're kind of just giving them more of a benefit than
Right, like, there was one point where, like, my water heater at my house broke, and then in, like, the same week, the water heater at the salon broke, and I was like, so I'm, like, already organizing to get mine fixed, and then I tell her, like, hey, this broke here, and she's like, who do I even call for that? Like, what do I do? I'm like, well, I'm already doing it, so I might as well do it again. Like, it was just, like, so then I'm, like, organizing with two different plumbers because I, like, had to base it off of, like, kind of her price scale, find someone to work with her, and, like, it was just a lot of, like, organizing, and then I have to be there at both places that are getting fixed. And I'm like, okay, well, this is just, like, too much work for what it's worth.
Literally trying to be in two places at once. You're like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right, exactly. And I'm like, I'm never gonna
What was it? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm never gonna see the, like, profit of maintaining this property, and, like, I didn't want, but at the same time, it was like, it's my business, so I don't want it to look like it's run down or anything, so I want it to look nice. So it was more so like.
Love you too. I love you too, Josie.
Josie's just the little cheerleader on the floor.
She is. She's like, hey everyone, this is you know, Josie here. Just want to let you know I'm here.
But I guess having Allie here is an interesting perspective on like why she quit. Like it wasn't. She loves me. It wasn't because of me. But like you were saying, asking earlier about how like is it more so like the mental or the physical, and like it is a really physical job, but it also is like super mental and super challenging in that aspect. And I feel like that is more like what kind of burnt you out a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was mostly just like having people come in and you try to explain certain things like matting and why it's important to get your dog groomed regularly and why it's important to brush your dog in between groomings. And people just would hear that and it would just go in one ear and out the other, and it was just kind of like disappointing. It's like, don't you want to take really, really good care of your animal?
The accountability, right?
Right. Yeah, and
I think we both treat, like, Allie has a bunch of little critters and stuff like that, but she has Remy too, and we both kind of treat our dogs like at like the max of like how well you could treat your dog and like take care of them, like
to us.
Right?
Oh,
yeah.
no, they get maybe eating better than I do. All right, guys, don't let them lie to you. They get fucking filet mignons and salmon and asparagus.
We both feed our dogs raw food.
You ever heard of
more so?
Wolf and Bear Co?
I was just gonna say, I do know that you had someone on your podcast recently talking about that stuff. So, but that's just kind of my.
I love this. This is awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah,
this is entertaining.
Perfect for your ADHD.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you just get a task and you get to talk.
Yeah. I love you, Josie, too. Yeah, I love your dogs too, though. Chip, Josie, Remy. I don't know. They just have this like rambunctious energy that just definitely keeps you going. I can imagine.
They're happy little guys because we treat them so well.
But exactly. But it's sad. Like you were pointing out, Allie. You know, you come and you deal with the same. You see these dogs like not getting fully treated as they should. It's like, why do you have a dog if you're not going to put in the effort to give it a good,
there are times that like we'll be like, oh, it looks like your dog has an ear infection, and then you come back and it's like, I'm not coming back like regularly, like I'm going there like every 8 weeks or 6 weeks, so it's like a month and a half, 2 months, and they still have the same ear infection. And I'm like, if that was my dog, like I wouldn't even have gotten it to it wouldn't have even gotten to a point where someone else had to point it out to me. I would have like noticed it and called right away, and it would have been gone by the time like the groomer even came. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that stuff is more so like what kind of can be bothersome is like just people not caring. I don't know. And it's so weird. Like, why get a dog if you don't care about them? I don't get it.
It's just, you know, it's
like,
just,
those are my kids, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's just, I think, actually, it's a question I'm gonna ask, like, Allie, both of you, obviously, but I would say to Allie, because like she was saying, you see these people come back and forth. Like, have you seen it more of like this irresponsibility, like during COVID, because people wanted like that friend, like during lockdowns, like someone like that company. You know what I'm saying?
I think what happened is a lot of people saw an opportunity to get a dog, and
because they had the spare time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't necessarily put a lot of research into the breed of dog that they're getting. I think that's important.
So strange to me.
Yeah, I think that's important because we got our dogs. We knew like they're stubborn because of their breeding. They're hunting dogs. So and
we have
scent
dachshunds for
yeah,
reference. I have minis. She has a standard.
They're funny. It bugged me out when you first. I remember when you first told me about it when you first got them. You're like, oh, they're hunting dogs. I'm like, wait, what? They're hunting dogs?
Yeah. So people don't really realize. I don't think a lot of people. Yeah, like I don't think people take into consideration that like your dog is. Almost all dogs are bred for a purpose. There are definitely dogs that are bred to just be little like lap dogs. There's actually, I forget what breed it is, but there's one breed that there was like a previous queen, I think it was a queen of England. Don't quote me on any of this, but I know that it's a fact, but I just don't know the details of the fact. But there was a dog that was bred to literally sit on this queen's feet.
I want to say it's...
Wait, on this feet?
On her feet,
really?
yeah. So it's like...
How
it's
do
like
you train that, though?
I don't know. I want to actually...
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead. Yeah,
because
go ahead.
I don't remember what kind of dog it is, but I'm like, that dog is not bred to, like, be smart. Like, it's literally bred to, like, sit on someone's feet. Like, you have to take those things into consideration. Like...
Dude, see, that's how fucked up we humans are. We literally literally gave a dog a foot fetish. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, leave the dogs alone. All right.
It's either a Cavalier
Josie.
or a Pekingese, I think.
I was gonna say Pekingese, but I didn't want to like.
I think
Pekingese.
Pekingese.
Pekingese. No offense to any Pekingese owners, but like they are pretty dumb. So like,
Yeah, they're
it
not
makes sense that like that's what they would be bred for.
So yeah, we're calling out all Pekingese dog owners. We're calling them out. All right, y'all, you got foot fetish dogs. All right, if y'all like curious on why they keep sniffing and licking your toes, now you know. All right, shout out to Queen Elizabeth. All right, for having that. All right.
I know. I can't remember what queen it was.
That's fine. See, I wish I had like a Jamie now, just to like have like a computer on the side. Like,
Yeah.
one day.
Shih Tzus. Okay.
Oh, Shih Tzu, really?
I knew it was like a short-faced dog.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like you like. I actually want to go back to whenever you're done looking that up. But
Yeah, no, it was Shih Tzus.
how much?
Oh no! And then the Cavaliers were bred to sit in her lap, so they got a little bit of a little bit more of an important job.
Oh, it's the lap, all right. They're higher up, you know. They're like, we don't deal with that ugly ass toe jam. Fuck that shit.
The Shih Tzus can sit down there.
When it you ever thought I wanted to go back to like the struggles of like having to keep up with the rental property, your house and stuff like that. So like, what was it that you learned? I feel like I've muted myself. I need to learn this. But how did you? What was it that you learned though from that experience? So like, there has to have been a positive or something that you took from that experience in general.
So, honestly, what kind of made me like make all of these changes in my life was like COVID and having to close for COVID because we were deemed like a non-essential business, even though I don't really come in contact with like humans. There was a way to definitely separate it and me just like get their dog and not come in contact with them. And I tried to like animal control actually came to the salon and was like, you're not supposed to be working right now.
Wait, the mobile one?
No,
like,
when I was
gonna say they had a tracker on your van. And
no, when I had this salon still. I mean,
I was like, damn, these motherfuckers going hard on goddamn Pet Tailors. Your dog ain't gonna get no fucking grooming, bitch. Fuck you.
Getting hunted down.
Yeah, literally.
I'm trying to get my dog groomed, man. What the fuck is this?
I was like, really? Like they could just like. Because I had the way the salon was set up was like the front entrance was separate from the back, so that like no dogs would ever be able to escape or anything like that. And like so, like they could just clip their dog up front, and like they can leave, and I'll just go get them and like keep doing that like for exchanging. And she was like, no, I'm sorry, but like we can't make exceptions for anyone kind of thing. Like it was just like every business needs to close.
That's I think it's so fucked up though. It's like especially if you had a good routine like that, why not continue the process of the family? A small business to keep thriving during that time.
Exactly. And I mean,
that's weird.
It wasn't her fault. It's just the panic of everything and everyone just not wanting to like make any or take any risks. But
what was this, 2019 or
the
2020?
more you throw that ball, the more she's gonna bark at you.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
Actually,
I'm gonna stop.
If you don't want her to yap, to demand what she wants, you gotta ignore.
I'm sorry, Josie.
Little like princess of a dog.
I love you, Josie, but
yeah. So it was probably I guess 2019, end of 2019, beginning of 2020-ish time, like whenever they were like
hard
non-essential businesses cannot be open kind of the deal. But so it's so hard to resist her.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, Josie, oh no, it's not playtime yet, goddammit.
So
it's so funny, random as hell, but I love it when I seen like I remember like in the I don't know if it was this summer or last summer, you got them like little PFDs, like little flotation like vests for when they go in the water. That shit is so funny.
They have little life jackets. Chip actually loves to swim, so that's part of. We were talking earlier about going away, and we're renting this property with a pond on it, and my boyfriend was literally like, did you rent this property for Chip? Like, because he's not going to come home with us. Like, he's going to want to live there now because he loves to swim so much. But it's hard to find places around here to let him swim because there's so much salt water.
Oh,
and
okay.
He's gotten saltwater poisoning in the past.
Wait, saltwater poisoning? Wait, what, like he just consumed too much? Or like,
yeah,
oh, okay,
and because he's so short, his legs are literally like 3 inches long. So it's hard for him to keep his head like above the water enough to like not get it in his mouth when he's swimming, especially like with the waves and everything too. So he
He just looks like a floating hot dog.
He ingested too much water, and it just basically like super dehydrates them. And then if you can't like rehydrate them too fast, because then their body will go into shock. So he was like vomiting and wouldn't stop throwing up. So then he's just dehydrating himself more. So I had to take him to the emergency vet, and they had to like bring up his like salt, bring down his salt levels and like adjust his like hydration, but they had to do it like a certain way so that he wouldn't like still die.
Was it like wait? So like they like did like a slow drip IV or something like that? Some kind of
probably. I don't really know exactly how they did it, but it cost me a lot of money, and he's alive, so it's fine.
Hey, like you said though, it's your kid.
My $1 million dog.
Million. Damn, all right. That's why I seen those golden claws. I was like, damn, it's glistening.
He has a tendency to cost me a lot of money at least one time a year.
You just have literally a savings fund just for Chip.
Chip just
mistakes.
To keep me on my toes, I guess. I'm not really sure, but
you gotta have one.
It's like a $1,500 vet visit a year usually.
Damn dogs.
Knock on wood. I don't think we had one last year.
It's like, don't worry.
I know, like. Oh, like he almost got saltwater, or no? I think he had eaten sand. He eats sand at the beach.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like I don't. He likes to lick rocks. So that
he's such a freak.
Dude,
he's such a freak.
Honestly, all of them
we talk about dogs licking toes. Now we got
dogs are like the freakiest dogs. Like I don't know. Like they have the strangest personalities. Josie is the weirdest dog like I've ever met. Honestly, like. She is just the most bizarre little thing. That's Chip, I'm pretty sure, squeaking that ball. Or it's Remy.
I love you, Chip.
Oh, it might be Remy. Remy loves to squeak.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's Chip.
It was a slow squeak. Remy's is usually squeak, like over and over and over again. And you're like, okay, we get it.
See, that's so funny. He's like, the characteristics of your animals.
Like they all
that's
have such very distinct personalities. Like... We have Friends Friday. We all come here and we play games and just like get super stoned and watch the dogs for like a little while. Like that's how we start our Friday.
Well, you have like a whole dog party. Like,
so
that's
it's
sick
like
as fuck.
Allie,
we all is.
It's me and Allie, and then both of our boyfriends, and we just like sit here and. That's how we start our Fridays. We sit here and we watch the dogs for a while, and then I make dinner, and then we play a game. We've been playing Catan a lot. Is it Catan or Catan? We decided that last week.
Catan?
Is it? Is it Catan?
Is it Catan or Catan? We're not sure, but yeah. So, but we have a full Friday of like probably about an hour of just sitting there and watching. One day we watched Remy chase a fly around my house for like a really long time.
He was hunting
and he got it, and we like all lost it. We were like, yeah, Remy! We were like so proud of him. It was great.
It's like, you fucking got this. He's those killer instincts.
He was trying so hard for so long, and like he finally got it, and we were just so proud of him.
Yeah, give him a round of applause for that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, and that's so fucking funny. It's just the good times you can create with dogs and stuff like that. How can y'all not enjoy this?
That's what I mean. Like that's like so that's our really we had the go lay down conversation too. Yeah. So we were Allie.
Wait, what?
Allie was like, isn't that weird that like people have a command for their dogs to like go lay down, like when she goes, and it's always like when they're like happy to see people and stuff, and like everyone is like, and then the owner's like annoyed.
Literally.
They send them away, like they live there. It's always in their own home. Like you can't have like your little buddy come in and he's all happy to see your friends, and you're like, get at it. Go lay down. Go lay down.
Yeah, they just look
disgraced. Like, he's hanging out. He lives here. This is his house.
He's like, well, I can't party like, too? Like, what's up?
Imagine if you told your kids to go lay down. Go lay down.
You see THS or DHS just knocking at the door real quick. Hey,
yeah, exactly. Like,
I was gonna say with Allie, like,
we just like to hang out with them.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing. You just become, enjoy the time. And there's Remy. We got a special guest, guys. Shout out to Remy. Do you want to say anything to the people on the podcast?
Hi, Remy.
He gives him the sniffs. You can hear the sniff.
You can't. Oh, that was his little mouth.
All right, shout out to Remy. He's a sponsor of this podcast.
Yeah, he doesn't have any money, but he'll love you like a lot if you listen.
Just like have a treat on your hand, and you'll be golden. Y'all will be best friends.
Remy, what is happening?
Well, I was gonna say, Allie, like, in your perspective, you know, seeing like how, like, what have you learned from, like, you ever want to start your own business maybe one day, like branch off one? I know you know, it's just you two working right now. I don't want to like inspire you to do your own thing and say, fuck you, I'm out this bitch now, you know, but
quit again. I'd be in so much trouble. No.
Third time's the charm, right? No,
Yeah. No, I don't really have, I don't think I really have like a managerial mindset. I don't think I really could handle that kind of like responsibility. Sarah has a lot of responsibility that I don't want, and that's why I like working for her.
Especially being so close, and you know, you guys are pretty chill. Come on, you have Dog Fridays, like come on, like Weenie Fridays.
Right.
Damn, Remy always coming in here causing a ruckus. Yeah. a roughest or a roughest. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good pickup line, but
A good dog line.
Yeah.
A good dog line.
No, but what I was gonna say.
No, so Allie is super. We were actually talking about this, I think, yesterday or
wow.
Monday, and I told her that she loves like creating habitats for animals, like so she has a lot of fish and like reptiles and stuff, and that's more so what she loves about them is like creating an environment that they're gonna thrive in, and that's I think why her quitting was what she quit for, was because those are the things that she's so passionate about when she cares for her animals, is like making sure that they're living in the environment that they're like intended to live in and keeping them happy. And so when people were like not really doing that for their dogs, it was just like really hard, I think, on her like conscience or like your mentality. So I was telling her, I'm like, you should just start like making reptile like enclosures and stuff and like selling them, like either commission them or whatever. Because I feel like
you do that on the side.
I've only built one, so it's just a tank, but then what I do is I take like styrofoam and like Great Stuff expanding foam, and then I carve it to make it look like a background. And I can show you a picture, but I did that for my leopard gecko in a 29 gallon. So there's basically an installment that looks like stone, and then I grout over it and paint it. Wow. Yeah.
Do you have like a site or anything that Etsy, like anything to promote? Oh no.
No, I don't have anything right now. Right now it's just something
like,
I really enjoy.
Yeah, that's what I was telling her. I'm like, you should just do that like on the side, like, and eventually you could probably build a business out of that, and like that's something that you wouldn't really need to manage other people for. It would just be something that you could do on your own. But that's when I was joking. I was like, then you can hire me instead, and I'll work for you. I'll manage. I'm fine with that.
That's funny as fuck. Hey, dynamic duo.
Yeah, honestly, Allie and I are like a great team.
See, and that's great, especially when it comes to, you know, a small business too, to be able to have that communication and that camaraderie too, to help each other. Know you guys are doing something better, you know.
Right. Allie and I's dynamic has actually been like made it super hard for me to hire someone else.
That's so fucking sick. If I was a goddamn gecko, I'd be chilling. I'd be chilling right on that piece of wood, like sunbathing, like laying on my back. Is there? Oh, I didn't even see him. Oh, he came out of the blue. We got a gecko in this bitch saying, what's up?
There he is.
What's his name?
That's Oscar. It's a girl.
Oh,
though.
my fault. Go ahead. Oscar?
Yeah, that's Oscar. It's a girl, though. She
so
was supposed to be a boy, and then she wasn't.
And you got
But her name's
That's okay. I support my trans daughter.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, we gotta support love. Love is love. I like you got really into it too. They got the little fucking
I was just gonna say,
holy
like, she
shit.
has like live plants in there, and she like makes it like how they would live in the wild, and like that's kind of why. That's part of the reason I chose to feed my dogs raw, was like every time people ask me about it, the way I like describe it to them, I'm like, well, like if you think about it, when you go to the zoo, you don't see them feeding them like a bland, dry diet of like whatever the hell. Like it's
honestly, I haven't seen one. I haven't seen like animals get fed. Like
never at the zoo. Okay, so actually, I went to the
guess.
Buttonwood Park Zoo recently with my niece, and they have a coyote there, and like I feel bad because she's all by herself, and I feel like she would prefer to be with like another, like I don't know, I feel like they're pack animals, right? Like you would think that they would be together, but whatever. So she's by herself.
I feel like you'd be that one to go in and it's like, you need a hug.
Yeah, right? Like, why are you all by yourself here? So my niece calls it the dog. She's like, can we go see the dog? So we go over, and they were actually feeding her when we got there, and they set it up like an enrichment style feeding, like so they they would normally hunt like little varmints. So they probably had like mice.
I like that wording there, varmints. I haven't heard that in like fucking ages. The little varmints.
Perfect word.
Yeah, right. Like what? Like it was like giant rodents that like they'll let loose and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she would hunt like rats or like little prey. So they had actually soda can boxes because they're long.
Oh, okay.
So they put the food at the end, so it's like frozen mice or rats or whatever, probably bunnies or something. And then they stuff it with hay. So then they have to kind of like stick their head like inside the box or tear it open and pull out all the hay. So like it kind of mimics the way they would hunt. So it makes it a little more fun for them rather than it just being like,
oh, here's your food.
here's your food.
Yeah.
Go waddle around for a while longer now and go take a nap somewhere, because that's like all they can do in a enclosure.
Yeah, that's so.
So that's why I decided, that was part of the reason I decided to feed my dogs raw, was it just seemed what was like biologically appropriate for them. Was like, that's what they dogs are. I think we could like have domesticated dogs so much, and like they've become such a part of our lives that people forget that they're actually animals. And I don't know, I feel like there are definitely good kibble sources out there, but it seems like eating cereal every day for the rest of your life to me. So exactly. I feel like giving them like fresh food, if you can afford it and you can like manage to do that, because it is very expensive, then like that to me, in my opinion, is like the best way to feed your dog, because they're getting what they were built to eat, you know?
No, exactly. And it's why would you not want to, like, again, going back to why not treat them the best you can? And actually,
right.
like, you mean, and it's funny because on the Wolf and Bear Co., shout out to them.
Yeah.
They were talking about, you know, all these companies like Bacononi or whatever, the little dog treats. I forget what the fuck they call them.
Oh, like pepperoni?
Pepperoni. That's
Yeah. Bacononi.
Yeah, I'm baked right now. Yeah, shit, I'm fucking. Yeah, I'm baked right now. But it's
so
like,
for reference, this company is, they make like raw, they're like locally made, but they make like raw treats and stuff, right? Awesome. It's like freeze-dried stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're actually starting to expand into cat. They want to start getting to felines, like cats and stuff like that, for raw food and stuff like that. But their main focus is, you know, raw treats for dogs. And they actually made like this shampoo and like this lip balm for their nose and their paws. Like they're really. Actually, y'all should connect. You know what I mean? That would be sick as fuck. I can, you know what I mean, if you want, I can give you the contacts too after this. That would be cool. Like you guys do a collaboration or something. Like get it free. Like I don't know. You guys talk it out. I don't know shit. I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but
actually, cats are more carnivorous than dogs are. So feeding your cat raw is actually almost even better than feeding your dog raw, because cat food is like so bad for them.
Oh my god, exactly.
It's like really awful if you ever like look into how your cat should eat and how food is actually produced. It's more so based on like what looks good to us as humans, because we're the ones buying it, but really it's should be geared towards them because they're the ones eating it. But
yes. Wrong one. I did. That was
sick.
Oh, okay. I meant to do like a. Oh no. Oh, okay, we gotta go through it. All right, we're going through the soundbite. All right, we're jamming now. Yeah. And we're back here on the Swancast podcast here with the Pet Tailor. Yeah, I do. No, but yeah, it's so crazy. I just wanted to give applause to what you just said though. Was like, you know, these manufacturers only care about what that attracts the purchaser, not the actual
even
product
all,
that's going to, you know, who the
coloring in it.
Yes.
It's all colors that they can't even see usually. Like it's reds and stuff. Like
dogs are colorblind.
Dogs are colorblind.
Oh,
yeah,
I forgot about. I'm not even gonna lie. I forgot about that.
What is it? It's blue yellow, right?
Yeah,
they can see blue and yellow.
They don't have a red cone in their eye, so they can't see any shades of red.
I don't know. Are cats the same? Like,
I don't know.
I'm not sure
I won't say it.
Yeah, don't quote me on it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say too, because I know you said you. Oh wait, I've muted myself. But with the moves, like, what are your moves for the future of the business? Like, do you plan on like maybe doing maybe like a fundraisers for adoption centers, like anything like that? You thought about doing like any ideas like that by any chance?
So not really. Like, when I first started, so I started my.
I'm posted up over here.
I know. I was like, oh damn. Okay, I got it.
Let me relax.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Let me chill.
Just ready.
When I first started, I did a lot of like different events and stuff, like to kind of get my name out there and do like certain things and help. I worked a lot with this local rescue called Care.
Shout out to Care.
Yeah, they do great work locally. They do a lot of like adoptions and stuff like that, and they'll take in animals and find like foster homes. I feel like that's like the better way to kind of, like. So my cousin works for the local animal shelter, and that's something that she talks about a lot, is how quickly just being in the kennel environment changes their personalities.
Really?
As like for dogs, mostly for dogs. Because especially if they're not dog friendly, like if they're sitting in a kennel that's just like they're just barking all day pretty much, like that's so stressful if you're not a dog friendly dog. So that's something that she talks about a lot, about how like there's a few dogs there that have been there for like a few months now, and like just with her they've changed their personalities. Like she's like, there are some that like I used to be really used to be really friendly with me, and then she works with the cats a lot more, but she'll go in there every now and then, and like they've forgotten her, and they're like more aggressive with her now. So I think having a rescue that you're able to find foster homes for dogs is just like a little bit better for them to kind of get out of their shell and like know that they actually are safe, rather than being in an environment that still feels like you don't know what's going to happen that day, you know?
Yeah. It's always never having that consistency of what's going to come in next,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of something that has been like pretty heavy on my like mind lately, is like what my next move is. I feel like I've done so many things like at such a young age that now I feel like complacent, but I'm like, well, I've just kind of gotten myself to a point where I can be, but it's like a weird feeling, like to feel like I'm just like settled.
But like weird in the sense of like you should be doing more.
Should have another goal, but I don't know what that should be. But is it just that I've gotten to a point where like I just have reached my success, or am I just staying because like I don't know what the next move is? Like I don't know. Part of it is that I'm not sure that I would do grooming forever. Like it's super hard on your body and like mentality and stuff like we were talking about earlier. But I also don't want to lose like one of my passions to a career again, because I do really like I had always really liked dogs, and now I feel like I look at dogs as projects and not as like cute little dog walking down the street. Like, like, oh man, look at that dog, like he's a mess or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't look at them the same way anymore. Not that I don't appreciate them still, like it just like it has changed a little bit of my mentality about it. But like I really enjoy cooking, and I love like doing like home decor and stuff like that, and like or like hosting, and like I've thought of like changing or adding to like my career based on something else rather than moving forward with like something based on dogs or grooming. But it's hard to like let go of something that you're passionate about and put it into like a career, because what if it changes your mentality on that too? Like I love to cook, and it's like therapeutic almost for me to like just be in the kitchen and like produce something.
You do be making some bomb food, I'm telling you. Oh my god, I'd be like messaging on your like fucking snaps. I'm like, yo, I need to fucking get a plate sent over to me stat, cause goddamn. Hey, that would be, like you said, another side passion. You get into cooking, maybe start your own channel, maybe teach people to come over. Oh, let's make a dish together. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. So
you've been helping me out with, because I don't cook at all, and I don't really know how, and I don't really enjoy it. But on Friday,
my little sous chef on Friday.
Get the little
I'm cutting the broccoli.
What do I do? What do I do next? What do I do next?
Yeah.
Cutting the blocks, I like that.
Cutting stuff. Shredding the cheese.
But yeah, but like even that, like, so I'm so spoiled right now too. Part of it is that I'm so spoiled with my schedule. Is like I only work 4 days a week. Like I only work.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I could take Wednesdays off, so I like can have time to do my errands and stuff, and then
or record a podcast.
Or record a
exactly.
podcast.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, I got some extra time.
The day takes me, wherever the day takes me. and then I work like 2 Saturdays a month. Like,
That's
I work,
fucking awesome.
so how do I give up like being able to have like the like leniency of my schedule that I have right now and make the same amount of money to like sustain? Because that's the other thing is like I've gotten so successful so quickly. Like, so I bought my business at 19, and so now I'm 27, and I have like the van and my car, like, so all of those things have payments on them. I own my house, so I have a mortgage. Like, so to me, like, starting from the bottom again is a lot more intimidating than someone else my age who might not have what I have, you know, like, so not to like
Weird flex.
not to belittle anyone or anything.
No,
And
that's
that's not what I meant. But
Everyone,
like,
no, I know what you mean. Everyone
like,
has
so
their own
for
journey.
Allie's a little younger than I am,
Yeah.
and so she hasn't really like.
Yeah, shit on me, Sarah.
This is the Shit on Allie
like-
podcast.
No,
you just got
not at all,
roasted.
Not at all.
She's about to be like, yeah, she lives with her dad and she doesn't make
Not at
any
all.
money. And
I see her with a picket sign outside in the corner street. Now,
No, not at all. I'm honestly jealous of the fact that like you're in a position that you can start from the bottom somewhere and work your way up. Like for me, I couldn't ever start somewhere that I'm making less money than I am right now because I need to sustain the life that I've already built for myself. But like, okay, so we were talking about it earlier. My boyfriend works for Coast Cannabis in Wareham, and he is the head of logistics and packaging for the company. And so he gets all the things in boxes and then gets them out the door and gets them to different dispensaries. And he has been able to work his way up from being a packager and gotten himself to this director position. So now he's making like a ton more money than he did when he started there, and he's only worked there for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So every year he's gotten a promotion and every year he's gotten a raise. So for me, like for Allie, that is something that like it wouldn't take you 3 years in the grand scheme of things is not a long time. That goes by so quickly. But for me, like I wouldn't be able to really like take that hit for those couple of years because I have to pay my mortgage. Like I have to have a place to live and everything. Like, so for someone who isn't in that kind of spot, like starting from the bottom and working your way up in 3 years is like absolutely incredible. Like to be able to be making like like not to like put my boyfriend shit out there, but like
I can say if you want. I think you don't have to say anything. You just know he's living.
yeah, like he can live comfortably now,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
and like
awesome.
he was able to afford to live in an apartment by himself, and like it was like $1,400 a month, like and that's something that like you wouldn't really be like. Now he lives here, obviously, but he wouldn't be able to like I wouldn't be able to do that because I have all of these other things that I'm like I've already established.
But
So-
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That's what I think is so cool about the cannabis industry, not to like make this podcast absolutely random about like a bunch of different random topics, but I
That's what
think
it's supposed
that's
to be.
really cool about the cannabis industry is that it is so up and coming, and like you can just start from the bottom somewhere and now you're like in this big leadership position, or like in a like there's one guy that works there that started in packaging and he works as like a lab tech now.
Oh, damn.
So it's like there's no right way to do it because it's so new. So you can just kind of start from wherever and figure it out because that's what everybody else is doing. There's no like you need this many years of experience because there isn't that many years in the industry even available. You know what I mean?
This is the groundwork. We're building the foundation.
Right, yeah, like we're the foundation, and I think that is
opportunity.
there's so much opportunity. And there's
Wait, you
so
trying to go
much-
to cannabis now, Allie? No, I was kidding.
No,
No, I just mean like
After hearing that 3 years,
I'm out.
yeah.
drops the mic. Boom.
I got work
Remy,
to
let's
do.
go.
Yeah, put your shoes on.
He actually, you see him put his little shoes in.
That's what I always tell them.
When we're leaving.
Oh, really?
When they're
Oh.
leaving.
Remy, get your coat. Put your shoes on.
He actually grabs his coat. That would be the funny part.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really think that there is something that I want to do more so with grooming. It would be more so me like having some sort of other thing going on. Like I've thought about doing like maybe like dog walking or like dog sitting, stuff like that. Like getting myself into something that's just not as like physically demanding. Like I think that isn't something that like anyone can sustain for a very long time. Like, I'm gonna get old eventually, and like my body's not gonna like keep up with that, you know. So, and then like the mental part of it too is just a lot.
Grooming is surprisingly hard on your hands. Like you wouldn't expect
carpal
it.
tunnel.
Like tendonitis and all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Especially when you have to make sure everything's fine and aligned.
Yeah, exactly. So there are like definitely things that like I think eventually I wouldn't be able to do it like
but it's good
longevity wise.
Yeah, but it's good that like go and say you built a good foundation for yourself, and now you can expand on it, like whatever in that category of work. You know,
Right.
It sucks that like you said you don't have that opportunity in a sense to start like a whole different career or something and like build that up.
It would be something like for me to start from the bottom. It would take me a lot longer to get somewhere and be successful because I would have to be maintaining that on the side as well. So for someone else who doesn't have that and can just kind of start from the bottom, I think is like such a cool opportunity to have right now, especially like with like just in general with the cannabis industry and making it so like.
Yeah, seriously, with
accessible.
anything, and then in Allie as well. So I mean, I need to be able to have the opportunity to say, "Hey, I want to focus on this career, this path."
Yeah.
Fuck it, that's awesome.
I'd love to do something with like botany, plants, or honestly, your idea about building enclosures would be really fun. I'd really enjoy that.
Right,
Maybe,
and
like,
I would
even
invest in that. I would
even
be a
as
sponsor.
Like I think people who like certain little like niche things like that are willing to pay for like decent like or good work, and like someone who's going to be passionate about like a passion that you're passionate about is like finding your like people is just like the most incredible thing in any industry, because everyone is gonna have the same goal as you or have the same like values as you do for the most part. I mean, there's always going to be people in there that are in it for the wrong reasons, but those people get weeded out really quickly, I think, because you can tell when someone's genuine and that someone knows what they're talking about. And Allie like knows what she's talking about. Like she'll research things and she'll look into things and make sure that she's doing things like based on what is correct for that animal or whatever it is. Like we will sit and talk about like random shit all day, and she'll be like, oh, I don't know, let me Google that, and like we'll just like look things up. And that we were talking about that recently, actually, how it doesn't seem like this generation like below us asks questions anymore.
I've talked to a few even elder people that are like, oh, I believe they have more of like an advantage to, or maybe they're just so accustomed to being able to search things up that they're just not
right.
as
So
eager
I don't
to
think
search things
people.
up.
I feel like because we have so much information at our fingertips, like we're in like the kind of middle part where like we knew what it was like. Her ball went under the thing.
Dun dun dun. Good luck, Josie. Yeah, good luck. It's funny. I seen her going through her banana of toys over there, and I was laughing my ass. I'm like, is that a banana? I'm like, it's a fucking banana.
But that is something that like we were talking about recently, is that like I feel like we're the generation of like we understand what it was like to not have the internet and not have things at our fingertips. So like we will ask questions and we do research things, I think, and then there are kids below us who like the information is right there. Why would I look into it? You know, like, oh, I read that headline and that's all I need to know.
They just believe the first thing that's there is there,
right?
yeah.
But like then our parents are like in a completely different place where they're like, there's so much information now that they can access that they don't even know what to do with it. Like, you know, like they're like, I mean, not all of them, but my mom is pretty technology illiterate. But
yeah, no, but it's right. It's so crazy though, because it's such an abundance. Like even myself, like I found my like. It's just hard to keep up with things now. I can't even just now, like imagine in another decade or so.
Exactly. I mean, right. Like, I mean, there are times that even like Nick, my boyfriend, loves like using his computer and stuff and gaming and stuff, and I don't understand any of that.
And
like,
I see he loves the Nerf guns, which look sick as fuck.
Dude, I made him hang those. I made him hang those
really?
like they were like an artillery closet or whatever, however you say that. That's his little man cave area.
Yeah, I like it. Sick man cave, brother.
Yeah.
Sick man cave.
So he was PC in there, and then that's where Allie wanted to breed her beta fish, and I was like, I'll take a beta baby. So now we're setting up a fish tank. It's always ever changing here, and we're always doing something.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to do maintenance.
I'm just trying to keep up with the fish tank here. All right, just thought I'd join the podcast.
I'm just here for maintenance, and I happen to pop in.
It's like a podcast. I'll join.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say no. We are actually wrapping up. you know, to the hour point. So I wanted to say thank you guys seriously for coming on. It was awesome, even though it's just a little bit of like your story and stuff like that. Is there anything else you guys like to say? Like give my audience, like anyone who wants to go into your journey when it comes to business and all that, what would you like to share? And then shout yourself out too, and whoever you want to. The floor is yours.
All right. So I would say the main thing that I've learned since owning a business is that for a while, like, I lived to work. So for like the first few years, like it was just grinding, and I worked 6 days a week, and I was like, that was my personality, was like I worked. And at the time I was with my ex, and so I was just like a girlfriend, and I worked, and we would do like in our spare time, it was just like catching up with friends or like family or whatever. And then I had to close for COVID and everything, and I was like, wow, I have no personality. Like I have nothing that is
what is
like
this?
Me, you know, like I didn't have hobbies or like things that I enjoy doing other than working. And I think that was like a super huge life lesson for me, was like I broke up with my boyfriend at kind of around the same time. So I was single and had nothing to work on really. So that was just kind of my focus, figuring out what to do like in my spare time. And it made me realize that like I don't want to live to work, I want to work to live. So now like I said, I've been like, I just kind of like has made my schedule like as minimal as I can, and I make enough money to sustain my life and be able to do the fun things that we like get to do, you know. My boyfriend's job is really cool. Like they have events and stuff that they like do all the time, so we get to go to things like that. Like last year we got to go on a Boston Harbor boat cruise, and like it was all open consumption, and like we just were like cruising through the harbor and smoking, and it was like all different people from like different people from different dispensaries, so they all had like pre-rolls and like handing out like different stuff, and it was like those are the moments that I'm living for. It's not living to just what my next goal is at work. Like I feel like that is more so what I've been focused on, is just making sure that I'm living a life that I enjoy, and I'm not going to regret in the end of like, well, I wish I did all of these things, but I was too busy at work. My dad owned a big construction company for a really long time, and I think that was one thing that I noticed from him, is that he did everything he could to the camera. Oh, shit.
That breakdancing. Let's see. We're good. But malfunction.
You did say it was a new tripod.
Yeah, it's maiden voyage.
I'm still learning the song.
We'll cut this out.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think it might even die too. Nope. Okay, we're on. All right. Let me double check to see. Yeah, battery exhausted. Son of a bitch. All right. Well, I guess that kind of.
Yeah, it's over.
Guys, the camera fell, so it kind of just showed me battery dead. So yeah, the battery's dead. That's funny. So guys, this is just this audio part toward the end. So yeah,
we'll put up Allie's picture of her leopard gecko tank for this part.
Yes, I'm down for that. Send me through like Messenger or whatever.
Send him the photo, and we'll put that up as you guys can look at her little creature tank.
It's just like chilling.
But yeah, so that was something that like I noticed as a kid with my dad, is that he worked really hard every day and to like provide for us, and I appreciate that and respect it. But I think I also noticed how much it took from him, like mentally, and like from his family. Like he was around, obviously, like he was a great dad, but there were times that I feel like he missed things because he was at work, or you know what I mean, like, or you come home and you're frustrated because you've had like, he's like, it was like a multi-million-dollar company, he has like a million things going on, so it's like by the time you get home, like you don't want to like sit and have family time, you want to like be by yourself and like not have to deal with anything, you know. So I don't want to get myself to that point where I'm like need a break from my life, because I want to just live my life and enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it's good that you were able to have that outlook on it. You know what I mean? Instead of looking at it as a negative, like, oh, he doesn't care about it. You know what I mean? There's some people who look at it the opposite way. They're like, oh, he doesn't care. It's like, no, it's, you know, he's providing and doing his thing. It's just obviously, I mean, obviously it's not easy. You know what I mean? Obviously,
you got to make sacrifices in every part of your life, and he he lived his life really poor as a kid, and I think he didn't want that for us. And we all are very successful, and he's proud of all of us, and I'm proud of everything that he's ever accomplished too. Like, he was able to retire really early, and like now he can enjoy his life. So maybe that to him was worth it, you know, like making those sacrifices when he was young to enjoy his life now. And he's able-bodied and has money and can do whatever he wants, like, and he can still help us. Like, he still has helped a lot, me and my sisters, like, a lot since he's retired, and now he's just able to be a grandfather, and like, you know what I mean? So I think that there are pros and cons to all of it, but I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather live in the moment than live for the future.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's all it's understandable. It's like, damn, you want to live your youth and do what you can now, but it's a balance. You know, it's whatever's good for your goals in your life.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And like you said, that was a good point. You know, he lived poor and just wanted to make sure you guys are good. And look at you guys, and that's awesome. Hey, I'm gonna have him on too. I already told him to come on the podcast.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I feel like your dad has a similar perspective too. Like, not that he grew up like really poor. My dad grew up really poor. I don't know about yours, but I think he has the same mentality of like, he just really wanted to provide a really good life for his kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's something that's super respectable. Like, you can absolutely respect that, but I don't even know if I want to have kids, so I'm gonna live my life for me for now.
You already got 2 dogs. You're chilling. Like, they're basically
exactly.
your kids.
They are literally children.
They are actually
your
children.
As you guys definitely heard and saw throughout the podcast today.
Yeah, Allie was talking about that recently. Actually, she was like,
I don't
"My
even
dog is like
register
a
them as
dog, but
dogs."
your dogs are like actual kids." And I don't know if it's the way I raised them or what, but they are just. I think it's just their personalities. They're both just very humans.
Yeah.
In dog bodies.
They got reincarnated into these dogs.
Seriously.
No, but hey, I was gonna say, Sarah, Allie, thank you. Thank you both so much for coming on the podcast. Seriously, it was a great vibe, great energy, and I was gonna say, do you want to shout out your business though before we sign off?
I mean, I'll shout it out, but I'm not taking any new clients.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, then we don't have to. I'll have it like the name.
But it's the Pet Tailor. I'm a mobile groomer based out of New Bedford, but I do all of like most of Bristol County. But I love my people that I have, and I am very grateful for them, and they all appreciate me. And I think that in any space you're gonna have people who think poorly of you or whatever, but building a reputation for yourself is like absolutely the best thing you can do if you're a small business owner, because people are going to respect you based on that reputation. And I think having the personality, or not the personality, but like having that personal relationship with people is really important, and I don't think that a lot of people value that, but I absolutely do. I really like the people that I have. We all are like, I go in and they ask me about my life and I ask them about theirs, and we all remember what's happening like next with them, and I'll be like, oh, how was your trip? I know you just came back from, you know what I mean? And I think people appreciate that.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I appreciate that about my people that I have too.
You're building your own community, and that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And again,
go
ahead.
And I gained an alley out of it.
Hey, got an alley-oop.
Alley-oop.
Sarah throws it into the shot, and then Allie comes through and slams it in. I'm using that soundbite. I'm gonna use that as a soundbite
Forever.
Yes, it's gonna be in the next episode. I'm gonna use it like shabam.
Oh no, I'm a soundbite.
I gained an alley too.
Yeah, see, everyone gains a little bit of alley. No one should ever live their life without a little bit of alley, honestly.
Hey, thanks.
That's all. No, thank you guys. You guys are great people, individuals. I wish the best for you too, and
Absolutely,
your future
you too.
and your goals. And guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I hope you guys are doing the best you can for yourselves and the people around you, because you know why? You fucking deserve it. And this is Sponcast Podcast. Peace. Oh yeah, I forgot the camera's dead, so I don't know why I was like, fuck it. We'll have Allie's the fucking. We'll be chilling. Have a good one, everyone.